released a few, but again, I will talk to Chris Milligan and see if we can actually get some of these photographs in the book. But the point is that, again, it's an amazing continent of contrast. You can see literally cultures which have been untouched in the last 300 years.
Well, Daniel, give us a window into this. It's important because you were there. You said you went with Special Forces people. You got a lot of courage. Talk about adventure. I hope that's in the upcoming Bilderberg movie. Tell us some of what you saw.
Well, again, some of the things that you see is the long-lasting friendship everybody has assumed over the last decades and several generations, especially since the Second World War, the British and the Americans, the Israelis and Americans, these things no longer exist. The Americans are fighting the Israelis, the British, the Americans, the Russians, the Chinese, the French. Everybody's fighting each other. They're no longer friends. They're just temporary partners, all right, in this quest for the natural resources. And again, go back to the natural resource, and I do have to go in a couple of minutes. People waiting outside from television crew, I don't know from where. But the point is that what you actually have is, again, we're at a point where we can all, make a substantial jump to 10 billion people in population, and the only way we can do this, is through nuclear energy, or we're going to go down to about 2 billion people if we stay with this, nonsense.
Okay.
Green is good, and of course, anybody.
Sure. Daniel, we've got you on the schedule for another 3 or 4 minutes. Can you send somebody to the door to get that TV crew in there?
I can probably do that.
Okay, good. Well, let me just ask you these final questions here in the time we've got then, but can't wait to have you said in the next few weeks you'd come back on for an hour, correct?
Well, we'll definitely see it. It all depends on the Hollywood people, exactly what they have in mind, if there's promotion or not.
No, regardless, I wanted to, when I talked to you yesterday, you said that you'd probably come on the next few weeks so we can talk more, because I want to talk about the intel you got from Bilderberg 2009, because I know you, as you've said, have people that have attended Bilderberg that you know. I don't know how much of what we talked about off air I can even say. That's another issue. Did you see the articles about the meeting 2 weeks ago before Bilderberg, right before it, of David Rockefeller, of the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, of Warren Buffett, where they admit here that, basically they don't want people to think they're an alternative to world government, and that the meeting was over population, that it was all about reducing world population, and that they really want to get this job done. Your comments on this group they're now calling?
I haven't seen it, but again, it's the policy of the World Wildlife Fund. The genocide of the two degenerates. The Prince Bernhard of the Netherlands, one of the founders of the Bilderberg Group, and of course the consort of the Queen Elizabeth II of England, Prince Philip. Both Nazis, both degenerates, and that's their policy: genocide or reduce the world population. Which again, it's more or less the same policy as Greenpeace or Al Gore. Go green. Green is good. Reduce the way we live, and obviously, back to the caves. That's not good. That's idiotic. And anybody who follows it, again, has to understand why they're talking about it. But again, maybe we can talk about this the next time.
Absolutely, neo-feudalism. Shadow Masters, though, it's going to come out in the fall or winter of this year in the United States. Daniel?
Yeah, it's going to come out in the fall.
Very, very exciting. Just in the last minute or two, with any key information that you haven't covered that you've gotten from Bilderberg this year, any inside intel?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear anything you said.
Any extra info on what happened in Bilderberg 2009?
Well, actually, yes. I'm just working on my Bilderberg report right now. There's a lot of information. I have a 73-page report from these people, and I'm going very, very slowly through it. And when I have the whole thing done, what we'll do is we'll post it on my website.
And that's DanielEstelin.com?
Or BilderbergBook.com.
All right. Well, Daniel, I appreciate your time. And again, I'd like to get you up for a full interview in the near future. I hope the family's doing well.
Everybody's doing well. And again, I want people to remember the C-Thing Productions and the New World Order, they went after us and they blindsided the people in the film. And obviously, these people, one way or another, we have to let them know that certainly we don't agree with them.
Did they promise you that it wasn't going to be a hit piece?
Again, it doesn't really matter at this point. It's he said, she said. But the point is that, you don't follow somebody around for a year and a half not to have them in the film. You know what I mean? So the intention was to have me there as a centerpiece. But unfortunately, I didn't say enough stupid things. So, obviously you couldn't have me in the film. As I said, there's everything I say makes perfect logical sense. I can explain to you what today called the Bilderberg was called Venetian nobility 800 years ago, why language, creates cultures and nations and not the other way around.
I agree with you.
You want people who wear toilet seats screaming the government did it.
Yeah, well, we've got to somehow reach out to the public. You know, none of us are perfect, but we have been somewhat effective at waking a lot of people up, and then they can find more eloquent and refined folks like you, Daniel Estulin. But, you know, we all do the best job we can. But I agree, the film is somewhat of a distortion. Overall, we're going to make lemonade out of these lemons. Daniel, we will talk to you again very, very soon. Godspeed. Congratulations on all your success.
Take care, Alex.
Take care. There he goes from Spain, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, John, go ahead and let him go. Thank you. Don't forget, folks, if you want to see the Bilderberg Group in living color, understand the master plan, Endgame, Blueprint for Global Enslavement, this is the film to get, Infowars.com. Yeah, just to finish up with the whole Daniel Estulin thing, what happens is, I learned a lot of stuff behind the scenes. You know, Daniel's really a very interesting guy, and I have a lot of connections and things, and so that's why 2 years ago when he told me the people that bought the Terminator franchise are going to make a major motion picture. It's going to be along the lines of Angels and Demons. I mean, like a big thriller. That's what I've got scuttlebutt in Hollywood. I mean, I made some phone calls 2 years ago about this, and then I almost forgot about it. And then Daniel was going to come on about a week ago, and people were, sending him stuff off the forum, sending him people attacking him on the Prison Planet forum. We have forums, we have comments. But I own my websites, and it's my right to shut down stuff if I want to. I don't think I'm going to do it, but it's not censorship if I get rid of the message board and the comments. It's that I can't handle the Secret Service here twice, federal subpoenas twice from the FBI and federal courts that I'm gag ordered to not talk about. People in black suits showing up, people creating fake posts on the thing that are supposedly for me. People, taking a French newspaper saying Daniel Estulin was at Bilderberg with a fake list. Someone posted. And then even if Estulin's a smart guy and knows that we didn't post that, it still upsets, most people. And then I talked to him yesterday for about 35 minutes and maybe 40 minutes. My wife's like, come on, we got to go to my in-law, my family's. And I'm like, okay, I got to get off the phone, Estulin, but it was good talking to him. I learned a lot more. And, I remember vaguely asking him 2 years ago, C-Think, with C-Think Productions, who are you interviewing for this? And they said, oh, we're interviewing Jack McClam. Maybe, I hadn't talked to him yet. We're interviewing Luke Rudkowski. No, I recommended Luke Rudkowski. We're interviewing some guy in Florida, and we may interview Daniel Estulin. Well, now I learned they followed Estulin around off and on for 2 years. Because, I first met these guys in 2006 myself. Or right after Bilderberg. Yeah, it was in the summer 2006. It's 2009, 4 years later. This is now coming out today, IFC big premiere. And so I can imagine the feelings Daniel was having. Number one, the Prison Planet forum saying he's Bilderberg, totally made up. I remember some idiot showed a dark-haired guy photo from Bilderberg, said it was Charlie Sheen there. Obviously it wasn't Charlie Sheen. People do that, and I've learned to ignore it. Daniel was saying, well, why are people interested where I am or what I'm doing? Well, you're a public figure now, Daniel. And you know that. You're on radio, you're on TV, you have a best-selling book all over the world, or 46 nations or whatever it says. I mean, you say there's going to be action figures of you at Burger King. Get ready for folks who want to know where you are and what you're doing. This is how this works. But it's got to be a little bit bitter to have people follow you around for 2 years and then not be in it. Even if it's a hit piece, somewhat, it's a waste of time. You know what it was like for a year to have Discovery Channel follow me around and have them with huge cameras in my car, ripping the upholstery and lights all over me and follow me around? It was a lot of work. And that was a good director, and he wouldn't make a hit piece on me. And they told him to go edit it and change it. And he said, well, I'll try, but I don't want to make Alex look bad. I mean, this was going to make us huge, folks. This was a huge 5-part series for Discovery Channel with yours truly as the star. And they killed it. He called me up and he said, do you think I should do this? They want me to interview this guy and this guy from Fox News and want me to interview all your enemies. And are you game to do that? And I said, yeah.